No Ohio government actions, legislative activities, enforcement actions, or public events are recorded specifically for March 21, 2026. Based on available sources covering the period 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the closest relevant activities occurred on nearby dates, primarily involving legislative signings, updates, and laws taking effect around mid to late March 2026, as detailed below. Governor Mike DeWine signed Senate Bill 63 into law on March 17, 2026, sponsored by State Senator Teresa Gavarone R., though specific provisions are not detailed in reports. 4. On the same date, multiple new Ohio laws took effect or were set to take effect that week, including requirements for jails and prisons to provide inmates daily hot showers. Limits and clarifications on college athletes' name, image, and likeness, nil, contracts. Avery's law increasing penalties for dangerous dog owners. New cannabis regulations restricting THC hemp sales to licensed dispensaries only. Mandates for real estate wholesalers to disclose their role to sellers. And absentee ballots required to arrive by election day to be counted, with standardized voting procedures across Ohio. 2. A legislative update from the Supreme Court of Ohio, covering bills introduced up to March 4, 2026, highlights several key prior actions with ongoing relevance. House Bill 96 Stewart, the FY 2026-27 state operating budget, was enacted and signed by Governor DeWine on June 30, 2025, despite 67 line-item vetoes, including provisions related to sentencing and appropriations. 1. Senate Bill 295, Manning, Patton, regarding timelines for restoring competency in criminal cases, was signed by Governor DeWine on February 20, 2026, and went into effect. 1. Senate Bill 16, introduced January 22, 2025, modifies Ohio Revised Code 45-11.213 to require drivers to proceed with due caution around stationary public safety vehicles, vehicles in distress, or those displaying emergency lights. 1. Additional provisions in related bills include a pilot program in Lucas County, near Toledo Correctional Institution managed by the Department of Rehabilitation and Correction for Mental Health and Substance Abuse Treatment, with $26 appropriated, community-based facility support, and hiring of specialized staff. Requirements to enter escapees who break detention into the Law Enforcement Automated Data System, LEADS, within 48 hours. Mandatory GPS monitoring for certain released offenders with inclusionary-exclusionary zones and curfews. And modifications to the Targeted Community Alternatives to Prison TCAP program. 1. Legislative e-update for March 11, 2026, notes ongoing bills without actions on March 21. House Bill 745, A Good Deal for Ohio Act blessing IAIL, introduced March 10, 2026, to modify property, income, sales and use, severance, and lodging taxes. 3. House Bill 581, Let's See Odioso M., introduced February 10, 2026, regarding eligibility for the Medicaid buy-in for workers with disabilities program and Ohio Workability Program, with its first House Medicaid hearing on February 24, 2026. 3. House Bill 225, Jarrells D. Young T., to phase out subminimum wage for individuals with physical or mental disabilities, authorize tax credits for purchases from hiring nonprofits, and name it the Ohio Employment First and Greater Opportunities for Persons with Disabilities Act. 3. A Week in Review for March 22, 2026. Mentions the Ohio Adjutant General's Department requesting $51 for capital budget projects, $13 state funds, $38 additional, but no tie to March 21. 5. No enforcement actions by agencies, public events with officials, or other government activities are documented for March 21, 2026, in these sources, which focus on legislative summaries up to early to mid-March. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.